All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Trust me when I say this, one day, the Houston Rockets will be able to play defense. But welcome back to the channel, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new here. I'm going to be going to Florida here in a couple of days, so hopefully I can keep up with the content, but post daily Rockets videos on this channel. We are 4 subscribers away from 1.1K, so thank you guys so much for all the love. This game was frustrating. This game was very frustrating. And obviously when you're coming off a season where you won 17 games, the next year is probably not going to be that much prettier. You know, it's probably not going to be that much prettier. Thankfully, the Rockets have 13 wins. They have 11 wins currently, so hopefully we'll be able to get over that 17 mark. I still think that the Rockets will end this season with about 25 wins, but I don't think that it's going to kind of come all around consistently, at least until the third, fourth part of the season, like, quarter, 75% way through the season is when I think the Rockets will start stringing together some nice win streaks and start actually genuinely surprising, hopefully some contending teams. That's something I really like towards the end of the season, is especially if a team's like fighting for seeding, teams fighting to make the playoffs, or they're trying to get the 1 seed or whatever. Why not just beat them? Why not just beat them and get them humbled? I love that. So tonight was interesting, man. Offensively, I feel like the Rockets, outside of maybe that first quarter and the fourth quarter, so 50% of the game, I feel like the Houston Rockets had a pretty solid enough offense. Right now, what I'm focused on is just like the development of our younger players. But what I'm also really keeping an eye on right now is Christian Wood. And Christian Wood tonight only played 24 minutes because this game was a blowout right out of the get-go. It was 43-23 after the first quarter. And, man, I'm getting chills just thinking about that first quarter. It was horrible. Man, it was just absolutely horrible. But they kind of, they figured it out in the second half. They gave up 43 points in the first quarter and then 37 points in the second quarter. So it was ugly at halftime. It was very ugly. So the starters didn't play too much, but Christian Wood tonight offensively did very well. 20 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown, which isn't great, and then 3 of 7 from downtown, which isn't, it's horrible. If we're being honest with each other, it's horrible. I cannot believe the fact that Christian Wood is still a 60% free throw shooter, and he says it's all mental. And if it's mental, I have major concerns with that, because how can you mentally struggle that much at the free throw line if you want to be a superstar? But that's not the point of today's video, so I apologize. But Christian Wood, at least he was able to put up 20 points per game, because he's still he's still hovering around that 17 point per game mark as far as his season average. And if we're looking to trade him, we need him to get his trade value up. What did suck, unfortunately, tonight is he had 3 rebounds. That is it, 3 rebounds. That's also been, first off, that was an issue for the entire Houston Rockets tonight. They only had 40 rebounds. So don't put it all on Christian Wood, but that's been an issue that I've had with Christian so far this season, is just kind of like lack of aggressiveness as far as rebounding the basketball goes. Outside of that, though, if you look at the starting lineup, KPJ and Jalen Green, they only combined for a total of 23 points. But they also both shot 50% from the field, and they both shot 50% or higher from downtown. So I think that's really reassuring. And like I said, this kind of just goes back to the point of like, oh, okay, guys, we won 17 games last season. Let's keep our expectations in check. I don't think it's going to start coming together on a consistent basis as far as wins go until the end of the season. But I think if you watch tonight's game, keep in mind Jalen only played 25 minutes. KP only played 27 minutes, but they both shot 50% from the field. And like I said, that 3-point percentage being above 50, even though they only shot a combined 5 threes. I genuinely think that's like reassuring. I think that's very reassuring. This was just a horrible offensive night, or offensive and defensive night for the Rockets in general. Got to go in there in the second quarter after scoring 37 points, but that was really about it. Jae'Sean Tate was a big portion of our offensive success tonight with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, 6 of 12 from the field, and then 2 of 4 from downtown. Jae'Sean Tate, man, I want this man to prove me wrong so badly, because my take is Jae'Sean Tate cannot be one of our starters on a championship team in like 3 to 5 years from now. I know that's like very far down the road, but that's what the Houston Rockets are prepping for right now. I feel like he's a great role player. I just need him to take that next leap. The good news is I'm not expecting him to take it this season. If you look at his stats this year, still an improvement from last season. He's getting it going. It just, particularly shooting the basketball, moving forward, I would like it to be more consistent. But you can tell in just the last year and a half, this man has made great strides. I mean, he has literally made great strides. So I'm not stressed out about Jae'Sean Tate. I am keeping the future in the back of my head whenever I watch the Houston Rockets, because I'm thinking to myself, Jae'Sean, I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to mold into a star type of player. He's only in his second year in the NBA, so there is plenty of time. I guess he's 26, so maybe there isn't plenty of time, but there's time. There is definitely time. And while he's under contract for the Houston Rockets, there's tons of time, a year and a half. So outside of that, Eric Gordon with another lousy starting game, 5 points, 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from downtown. These are the games where I just really realize, why the hell is he starting over Garrison? I understand it as far as like a value perspective and like just having a veteran, like, an experienced player, but I just feel like Garrison Matthews, I don't know, I know they both space the floor, but I just like Garrison Matthews starting and Eric Gordon coming off the bench so much more. If Eric Gordon, I feel like Eric Gordon thrives off of the bench, and he can still close games. He can still close games and come off of the bench. He's still going to get starter minutes regardless of if he's starting or if he's coming off the bench. So I just still want to see that swap, and I know I mentioned that in every video, but it's just because that's what I want to see. KJ Martin Jr., 6 points for him tonight, but Garrison Matthews drained a couple of threes for 15 points. Armoni Brooks, a couple of points, 7 points tonight. Josh Christopher, 7 points for him. Trevelyan and Daishen Nix played about 8-9 minutes together. Not too much there, but they did do well in garbage time, but it's garbage time. This Rockets team, man, they're just so interesting because they're so inconsistent, especially on that defensive end. I mean, giving up 80 points at halftime is never, ever good. But you can tell, man, they're fighting, they're all fighting out there, and it just, even in nights like this, it's just, I still feel like the future is so bright, man. I still feel like the future is so bright. I know Jalen Green and KP both together could have been a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they should have been a little bit more aggressive tonight. But as far as it goes, man, I'm excited about this Rockets team. I'm excited about our future. But losses like this, especially at home, I mean, they definitely do suck. And, you don't get used to them. You don't really get used to them. There's still just this anger burning in my heart, to be dramatic. That's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I post daily Rockets content on this channel. That's it for today. Drop some comments down below. I'll see you guys later.